Hi, my name is Tamara Levinson, also known as Cuchira, and this is your Yogance series on OmStars. And in specific, this is your Yogance Warmup class. So this is a 4-part or 4-class series, and they are progressive. So you can either choose to do one class at a time, or even maybe all 4 classes at one time if you want a really long, beautiful practice. So here we go. Let's stand up. All right, so with Yogance, the breathing is a little different. We use really nice, big, bold, loud breaths so that you can really connect to your body, mind, and soul all together. And I find that when I use my voice and I shoot out my breath, I shoot out voice, it connects me instantly to myself. So the breath sounds like this. You inhale from the earth, and you exhale until your breath is completely gone. Make sure that it's calm and fluid and soft, that it travels from the ground all the way through the crown of the head, holds for a second, and then releases softly. You don't want to keep the breath in the center of your face because you're going to get dizzy really fast. As well, transitions in Yogance are really, really important. They should be fluid and soft and slow so that you can really come in tune with every single moment of your body and all the thoughts that you're having, so they're kind of passing through and letting go as they are. So here we go. Let's start. We're going to start in the middle of our mat, feet hip distance apart, and we're really going to start connecting with the pubis because this is really where it all comes from, breath and pubis. So at any time, if you feel lost, first go back to the breath and then go back to the pubis. So the pubis muscle will come inwards and upwards, or mula bandha. It'll connect to the belly button will come to the spine, the tailbone will be long, and the ribs will be in, and everything comes from this center point, okay? So we're just gonna hold here for 3 breaths, nice and tight. Take an inhale, and an exhale. And with every exhale, you can start dancing, kind of flowing a little bit, bending the knees, pulling the shoulders back, and then down with the exhale, keeping a nice long neck. And letting out some voice. Good. On the next inhale, the arms will come up. Nice tight core, nice smooth movement. On the exhale, almost like you're resisting through water, push your arms down and contract. 2 more like that. Lifting up, really rooting from the feet, lifting to the sky with the arms as long as you can possibly get, almost like you're stretching in the morning. Exhale. 1 more like that. Inhale. On this one, we're going to let go of some voice. Here we go. Good, and shake it out. We're going to add movement. So inhale, arms up. Keep the pubis nice and tight. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up. Lift the chest, open the arms, and then exhale, contract almost like you're grabbing a big ball. 2 more like that. Inhale, arms up. Lift that pubis, drop those shoulders. Exhale, roll down. So really resist. Inhale, roll up, lift the chest, open the arms. Exhale, grab that big ball. Here we go, 1 more, just with breath a little faster. Good, and then slowly roll all the way up. Good. Quickly dip the head, almost like you're diving into the water. Bend your knees and go ahead and rock your booty side to side. Let everything go. Let the shoulders drop towards the ear. But even here, that pubis is lifting up towards that belly button. The whole lower belly is concave, pulling in, nice and relaxed and breathing. From here, we're going to take a flat back, so fingertips on the floor or on blocks, or maybe even on the front of the shins. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, flat back, pulling long from the crown of the head in oppositional force with the tailbone, tucking in the belly and the ribs. And then exhale, fold, bend the knees. 2 more like that. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, flat back. Find ultimate length, as much length in the spine as possible. And then exhale, fold. You can always keep the knees nice and bent. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. We're going to add our first little twist. Everything is going to remain the same. Keep the left hip pulling back, the right arm twists up. You can keep looking down so that the neck doesn't hurt. If you'd like, you can maybe say no and shake it out, sprinkle the fingers up top, and then exhale, fold. Left side. Little twist, push out of the right shoulder, push into the floor, and then lift, 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 and then exhale, fold. 1 more, just with breath. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, fold. And dance through it. Make sure it's fluid and beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. We're gonna walk back onto all fours. Make sure the knees are hip distance apart and the shoulders are right above the wrists. Pull the belly in, tuck the pubis up, and then push into the floor and out of the shoulder girdle. Good, inhale, lift the chest. Keep the pubis lifted. Exhale, contract as much as you can, stick your tongue out. 2 more like that, inhale. So as we continue to do this, make sure there's some sort of wave action happening through the spine and moving through the shoulder girdle. Good. Go ahead and start making circles with the torso, pushing out of the shoulders, maybe even lifting a little bit off of the floor, warming up through the wrists, maybe taking little figure 8s, going the other way. We're just moving and grooving, nothing big. Good. Maybe pushing back into a little child's pose, into a little up dog, waving with breath. And maybe you even have your favorite song on and you're just grooving around. Good. Eventually, we're gonna find a child's pose, so knees apart, feet together. Walk the hands out as much as possible, maximum length through the spine, forehead on the floor. Good. Immediately take the shoulder blades down the back. Tuck the lower belly in. 2 breaths right there. So we're always looking for a nice long spine. Always very active and squeezing. Good. Walk both hands out to the right side. Remember, transitions are important, so as you walk, really lift the core. Use everything you got. Drop the shoulders. Keep the left booty down. Good. Walk the hands to the left. Nice and controlled, nice and fluid. Everything is a dance. Beautiful. Dropping the right shoulder down. Let's take it back to center. Good. Coming back up on our hands and knees. Good. Feet separate again, pushing out of the shoulder, digging into the fingertips. So let's talk about our wrist a little bit. If you find that you have a lot of pain in your wrist, there's always options, right? You can always use forearms, you can always use fists, but what I really like to do is resolve the problem from the root. So if your hands are flat and you've been practicing like this, that's probably why your wrists hurt. They take a lot of pressure in this joint. So what I love to do, Gymnastics 101, I learned this as a gymnast. I like to bend my fingers and then take the weight into my fingertips and out of the palm of my hand. And at the same time, push away from the floor, pushing out of the shoulder girdle and lifting the pubis nice and tight. Let's start to warm up our wrists. So bending the fingertips, taking big circles to the right, pushing away from the floor. Maybe even tucking your toes under again and lifting the knees, going into like a little mini plank. Remember the breath. Other way. Keep pushing. A lot of resistance happening here. Good. And one more child's pose, nice and long, beautiful. Let's find a little Chaturanga modified. So same action, bending the fingertips, pushing forward, rooting, and then pushing back into Chaturanga. We're just gonna do 3 like that, starting to lift the heart rate. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. And again, you don't always have to go all the way down. It could just be right here, as long as we're working correctly. Keeping the core nice and tight, and using that big, bold breath. Hold right there. Resting 1 breath. Inhale and exhale. Okay, good. We're gonna take a plank. Let's push forward and back through the heels and the fingertips. Again, working through the core and the pubis, pushing out of the shoulders. And let's take our first down dog. Yay, we all love our down dogs. Good, moving around. Let's just dance through our down dog a little bit. However you like, you can move the booty side to side, massaging the floor with your feet and your toes. Good, maybe moving in and out of the shoulder girdle, saying no, saying yes. And most importantly here, keeping the ribs tucked nice and tight. A lot of stuff happens when we do this. This is how I got injured, so I really like to push away from the floor and dig the ribs in. Good, inhale the right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg up. Squeeze, knee to nose, 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze, 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 and go ahead and step it through into our first lunge. We're gonna take 3 breaths and just dance through our lunge, however feels good to you. Good, reminding ourselves of the pubis, really digging the ball of the front big toe into the ground. Maybe taking some twists. You can also turn out the front foot. Make sure that you're not only moving linear, but you can rotate, you can turn out, you can circle. Good. Lifting the chest, Anjaneyasana, dropping the back knee, maybe going through a modified split. Remember, it's your warm-up, so be delicate. Listen to your body, see what it needs. Good. Let's take that lunge. Good. Turning towards our left side or inwards into a modified straddle, moving 3 breaths and dancing through a modified straddle, however feels good. So you can switch legs, you can move the side body around, maybe you can even just hold, shake out your head. This is your practice, so these are the decisions you have to make. And this is great because it forces you to constantly listen to your body. Good, take an inhale, lift the pubis, transition nice and smooth into a lunge. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back on the inhale. On the exhale, find a plank. Inhale, push forward through the fingertips. Exhale, let's get back into that down dog. Remember to lift those ribs. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze and push, squeeze and push. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Fingertips, remember we talked about that. One more inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Push out, push out, push out, lift the pubis, and step it through. Good, let's dance in our lunge. Left lunge, 3 breaths. Beautiful. So remember, smooth transition, smooth movement. That's the key to Yogance. Dropping the back knee, moving through Anjaneyasana, modified split. Turning in, swaying. Whatever you need. And again, it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be focused. That's all. Good. Finding that lunge again. Lifting from the pubis, pushing away from the floor, and then floating into that modified straddle. 3 breaths here. So remember, this hip girdle is quite complex. So you definitely want to move through it. I like wiggling around, even subtle movements. Pointing and flexing my toes. Lifting my chest, all of these things are really beautiful. Inhale, lift the pubis. Finding the left lunge again, fingertips on the floor or on blocks, rolling the shoulders back, lengthening through the spine on the inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale, push forward through fingertips. Exhale, down dog. Good. I want you to kind of scooch your booty side to side, getting into the side body a little bit. Good. And then with that same action, walking the feet all the way forward until they're wide as the mat. Good. Slowly melting the knees. Go ahead and sit into Malasana. Good. Lifting the chest on the inhale. On the exhale, folding. Inhale, lift. And you might not be all the way flat. You might be here. You might be working here. Anywhere is good. You're just moving around. Good. Slowly roll all the way back up on the inhale. Hands on the lower back, push the hip flexors forward, lift the chest, lift the pubis, little mini back bend, and then exhale, let it go. 2 more like that, roll up, mini back bend, lift the chest. 1 more. Slowly roll all the way up. Remember, we're starting rooting from the ball of the big toe, which connects us to the pubis, rooting the tailbone, belly button in, rolling the shoulders back, a nice long neck. It's all cause and effect, right? Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms up. Nice strong core, that's where we started. Exhale, resist them down. 2 more like that. It should feel different than at the beginning. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now we're going to start to rise up on the toes. Demi-point, as we call it in dance. Releve. Come up high in the toes. Good. So this is where you're really going to start testing this whole pubis action. Pubis is in, tailbone is tucked, the ribs are in, and the weight is on the ball of the big toe. Exhale, arms down. 2 more like that with the toes. Inhale, rise up, releve. Keep a nice soft gaze right in front of you. Exhale, down. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Good. A little wider with the feet. Let's start taking some circles with our booty. Good. Nice and relaxed. Putting it kind of all together. Seeing where this movement takes us. Good. Maybe bigger arms. Starting to release and relax. Good. Other way. Bringing everything to play, the fingers, the toes, the shoulders, the legs. Maybe even closing your eyes and letting this just dance through your body. Bigger arms, swaying, swinging. I like to throw my voice out like that, because the sounds that you make will create different movement and dynamics in your body. Beautiful, slowly rolling up. All right, great job, you guys. Let's finish this warm-up on our backs. I'm gonna turn this way because it's easier for you guys to see. So bend the knees, soles of the feet on the floor. We're just gonna sway our knees side to side a little bit, massaging the lower back. Again, as you lay there, really, really stretch out your spine long, so maybe you even wanna carry your body up the mat. Tuck the lower belly in. Inhale the legs up to the sky. Point the toes, reach all the way through. Exhale, happy baby. Let's take 3 breaths dancing through happy baby. Moving the legs around, however feels good to you. But really, really suck in that lower belly, and it'll be easier to gauge as well here because that whole lower back will be flat on the floor. This is what we're looking for. And good. Squeeze the knees to the chest on the inhale. On the exhale, left leg up to the sky. Squeeze the lower belly in. Keep it nice and tight as the left leg drops to the floor. Good. Inhale the right leg out to the right side, keeping the left hip flexor down. Exhale, squeeze the lower belly and take our twist. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale, traveling back onto our back. Readjust the body to be aligned, nice and straight. Always work clean, changing the legs. Inhale the left leg out to the side. Exhale, twisting to the right. Holding 1 breath, inhale, dropping the left shoulder. Exhale, coming back to center, squeezing both knees into the chest. Good. Inhale the legs up towards the sky. Here we go. Final little core. Keep the chin tucked a little bit towards the chest. Lower belly squeezing, palms on the floor, pushing down, and slowly lowering all the way down. Pointing those toes. Good. There we are. 1 final breath here on the floor. Maybe opening the palms up towards the sky. Taking an inhale. And our final exhale. Beautiful. And that was the warm-up. This might be the end of your practice, or maybe you want to continue on to the next series. We're going to be doing a Yogance. Yay! It's a yoga dance fusion, a movement therapy, and it's going to be really fun. It's just a little fun sequence, so I hope you'll join me.